Hey, it's your girl Aisha C. Now let's get into the tea. Hey fam, what's up? So this is my first video ever on Aisha's Aspects. Welcome. Subscribe. I don't know where it's at. I gotta get used to this. That's that new stuff, you know. So, I know by this title, y'all are probably thinking, oh, you've been quiet. Yeah, I have. So, let's get into it. Look, the waterworks are starting already. So, it all started. You gotta be comical about this because this subject matter is horrible, honey. You cry every 5 minutes. But here I go. So, it all started, I want to say November, late November. I was on the phone running my mouth and I felt this little electric shock. And you guys know, like when you have a sour candy in your mouth and the sour candy gives you make that face, you'd be looking real silly. So I felt that, but in my breast. So I was like, okay, something's not right, you know, but maybe I'm tripping. So then I waited and I self-check myself like, oh, I'm good. Still there, boob's still sitting. So it started to go into December. And I said, Mom, I need you to do me a favor. She was like, what? I'm like, check my boob. All modesty goes out the window. I literally was just like, here you go. And she was like, oh, okay. We are not strangers to breast cancer. My grandmother had it, and so did my mom. And another relative, she was not my great grandmother, but she was my great aunt. I want to either great aunt or great great aunt. I'm not sure. I'd be messing up numbers or messing up the rankings of how it goes. But my great grandmother, she had passed a while ago. Well, when my grandmother was 5, so it wasn't her, but it was the lady who raised her. She passed away from breast cancer. So breast cancer is no stranger to us. My grandmother passed away from it. The lady who raised her passed away from it. And my mom got it, but she beat it. So I kind of knew what was coming. So I called my doctor's office and I said, I think I need to get a mammogram. And there was a certain nurse, I'm not gonna name no names, you ain't gonna sue me. And I was like, hey, feeling something pretty weird here. I think I need to get a mammogram. And the first thing she said is, oh no, honey, you're 25. You don't get mammograms. You get ultrasounds. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, who am I to fight someone in the medical field? I mean, I'm in the medical field. I'm trying to be a social worker here. And lo and behold, a nurse just shut me all the way down. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, listen, Linda, I got you. You know, I hear you. So I said, okay. And I left it alone. And lo and behold, I called back because I felt that electric shock again, you guys. And I said, can I speak to the doctor? So she said, okay, that's fine. Same nurse. And I told the doctor and she goes, if you feel something, you come in because 9 times out of 10, your body doesn't lie to you and you're pretty accurate on your health. So I said, okay. So I went on into the doctor's office and she sat there and said, I don't know if I feel anything, but let's get you a mammogram. So I was like, ha, to the nurse, like, doctor know best. And we went on and set that appointment up. So it was the day after Christmas. It was 26. And my mom went with me because I was crying. Don't think I wasn't. Like, oh baby, I was bawling. And I'm a cancer with cancer. So I was just boo-hooing. So we go to get a mammogram And the nurses at this place were really nice. Um, very sympathetic, and they were like, "Oh, you're fine, honey." They can't really tell you anything, but they said, "From what we see, you look fine." I said, "Okay, thanks." So it waited a couple days, and I want to say by January 8th, maybe, might have been earlier, I got a phone call. I need to come back. Oh shit. I gotta come back. So when you get that call that your mammogram is a little abnormal, you already think the worst. So at this time, my mom couldn't go. My mom had to work. So I had to go by myself. But you know me, I'm a G. I'm a thug. I'm not about to sit here and, I don't need nobody. I got this. This ain't nothing. So I went, and as soon as I walked through the door, you guys, I started boo-hooing. Okay. I look like a scene in Tony Braxton's Break My Heart, like sliding down a wall, boo-hooing. And I walk in, and they're like, "We know who you are, just go to the back and we'll get you ready." So now I have to get another mammogram. This time, all that personal bubble, that was out. Social distance wasn't even a thing, honey, baby. They was all up on it, okay? And then she goes, "We're going to be safe and do an ultrasound too." Oh, okay. All right. So as the ultrasound tech does my ultrasound, might have been a little unprofessional, she gasped. She went, and if you ladies ever had your mammogram or just an ultrasound, they usually have you laying in a crazy way, like this. So she had me like this, and she gasped, and I was like, "What? What you see?" And she's like, "Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm just looking." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I kind of left it alone. I'm like, "Okay," but at this point, I'm like, they found something. The table is wet because I don't cry. Okay, if I had on any makeup that day, it was over for that makeup. The doctor came in, and he told me, he was like, "Hey, we see something called calcifications." I'm like, "Okay, what's that?" And he's like, "There's just small calcium deposits going on, and we're just going to clean those up. But to be sure, we're going to do a biopsy." So the biopsy was scheduled for that following week. I'm like, this 2020, you could have kept this, because I don't need this in my life. But got the biopsy. My mom came to that. She wasn't playing no games. My mom's a whole nurse. She was all over it, honey. She came, and the nurses were very sweet that day as well. And the biopsy was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. They kind of have you on that same mammogram machine, but this time a needle goes in, and they're, sucking out a little bit of, specimen for them to do some research on and double check. And after about a week, it came back. They were like, "Yep, just calcium. We're going to get that out and you'll be fine." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I got it." Then I had to see a breast specialist. So I'm like, "Okay." So they're like, "She is going to be the one to perform your surgery. You'll be fine. She's a great breast specialist. No worries." I said, "Okay." So I went, and I had this surgery, and considered in, I guess, medical coding and medical terms, they were like, you have to have a lumpectomy to get some of this out. So the breast specialist, she really broke it down for me, because at this point I was boo-hooing. Every appointment I had, I boo-hooed y'all, okay? And she was like, "You're fine. It's just calcium deposits. We're just gonna, get those out." But I'm a little greedy, so I kind of go around my little margins and get a little extra just to make sure you're okay. Be as greedy as you want. Get whatever you need out, okay? So she went, we had the surgery, and lo and behold, I thought I was fine. I was like, "Okay, we back, honey. They got the calcium deposits. I'm good." So we have to go up for a follow-up appointment. And I go back in, me and my mom. And I thought, okay, calcium's out, we're good. And my hospital has something called a patient portal. I didn't check my patient portal. So I am in the mood that everything's okay. Nothing's wrong. And lo and behold, the nurses are looking at me like, oh, she's in a good mood. She definitely didn't read patient portal. So I'm like, what's going on? Why y'all making that look, that face? Went in that room and the breast specialist looked at me. She said, I'm sorry. I said, you sorry for what? Like, I'm okay, girl. What you apologizing for? And she was like, we found breast cancer. Where? Who? Not me, because baby, I'm 25 and you just said it was just a little calcium. What do you mean you found something? And she goes, we found it, but we caught it so early that I don't even want to call it a stage, but we're going to have to give it a stage, so it's stage 0. So I was like, at this point, I start crying. I start thinking I'm 25. I'm definitely not married. I don't have no kids. Am I about to die? Like, because for some reason, even though my mom is a beautiful survivor, when someone says breast cancer, I think death. I hate to say it, but I do. So when she said it, I'm like, okay, you about to die. Like, you have no legacy. And the tears are about to come. So I started freaking out. So I had to go get tissue, y'all. Y'all not finna catch me slipping on YouTube and make me a crying meme. But so it was difficult. That news was really earth-shattering to me. My mom's a G, so she was very quiet, but she didn't cry, at least in front of me. Did she probably boo-hoo in the bathroom? Probably, but not in front of me. So what are our next steps? So we have to get you a treatment doctor because we don't know which route we're going to take. She goes, because it's so early. Ooh, this is not, look at me, y'all. It is so early that we don't know. So I said, okay. So we could put you on a drug called tamoxifen. And you could be okay with that. But she said, don't try to have children, during this time. When she said that, I heard that I couldn't have children, y'all. And I start sobbing. But I've always thought I was that fine auntie, like, ooh, I don't need kids. But I'm the one to drop off your gifts to the kids. Like, hey, niece, hey, nephew. I'm the one to wear heels to a baby birthday party. So I was like, I started sobbing. I was like, I always joking, saying I don't want kids, but I want one. And at that point, my mom was like, oh, wow, you do? I was like, it's a joke, but I want one. So it got real. She's like, no, you can have them. Just not right now. Not while you're on this medicine. So I was like, oh, okay. Get it right, Linda. That ain't her name, but get it right, Linda. So I met with the treatment doctor, which is my oncologist. And he was super nice. He was like, oh, you caught it early. He says, you're the same age as my daughter. He goes, I don't think my daughter would have came in here. Should have been like, oh, I'm all right. He said, you caught it so early that I think you could have went 10 years and never found it. So he goes, let's be proactive. And in agreement, we were going to do radiation. Call it a day. But then he goes, I don't want to do radiation in one breast. And then your other breast be like, hey, I got a little something over here. So he said, let's just be preventative. He said, let's just do, ooh, honey, let's just do a double mastectomy. I'm going to be flat chest. He was like, no. We can do reconstructive surgery. I said, oh, okay. So now I'm here because in my head mentally, I'm like, I get a boob job. But he was like, I don't want it to sit there and do one breast and then it comes back in the other, especially it being high risk in my family. So I was happy that he was looking at the future and not just at this moment. Whew. I don't know why I thought this video would be easier, but it's definitely hard. So that's the route I'm taking. So my surgery is scheduled June 9th. And I didn't know surgery was that long. They said surgery could be anywhere from 7 to 10 hours. Honey, that is not, I'm not here for that. With that late, ain't nobody got time for that. No, I don't. But I think I'll be okay. Especially during COVID. A lot of rules changed during COVID. So during COVID, you can't have your loved ones with you in the hospital. I think I'm only allowed one person. And the sad part is I don't want my mom in the room, let alone at the hospital with me, because I don't know how this COVID's spreading. Don't get into it. That's not what this video is about. But I'm just saying, I don't want her there at the hospital and probably more prone to getting it. Like, no, we don't have time for this. So I'm happy that she's my caregiver, but I'm also scared that her sitting there doesn't make her, I don't know, make her too safe getting it. So this is a lot. So far, that's my treatment plan. Once they get my pathology report from my surgery, we pray that my margins are clear and that there's no cancer. Once they do that. But if not, we have to figure out another alternative. So we'll see. But this is Asia's Aspects, and hopefully we get into some more stuff. I plan on doing some story times, maybe a prank or two, something. We'll see. But I want y'all to follow me on this journey. Thanks, fam.